Game on, ladies and gentlemen. Tomb of the Spider Queen. So let's go real quickly to what is this here. This is the Masters Clash series, and we are currently in the first part of the tournament, which is actually a Swiss system. How do I explain Swiss system to the people that don't know what that is? It's basically like a group stage, but it's not a round robin where everybody plays against each other. It's more so teams playing against each other that have roughly the same, like similar scores so far, and the top are then going to advance. So it's a system that is designed to save a little bit more time in comparison to a double round robin system or a round robin system. But yeah, so in this particular one, we have now nothing left playing against Granit Gaming. There are a couple of subs that we're having on each side. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Mena actually subbing for nothing left, and Quasar subbing for Granit Gaming. But the important part is, this is a best of one. So in the first round, all these games, this is single maps that we're playing here. So we have Tomb of the Spider Queen currently as the only map between Nothing Left and Granit Gaming, which is also the reason why up at the top you don't see a 0-0 score for game 1. So Maiev gets banned out. We have Quasar subbing in for Swamgrota on the side of Granit Gaming. And the reason that I was quoted and I was told that I should definitely talk about this is because Swamgrota is an alcoholic. So I assume that it simply means that the good boy went pretty ham yesterday. Currently it's Saturday, so on a Friday night apparently he went and partied hard and is still a bit hungover. So they're playing with Quasar instead. I'm not quite sure if I should say you go girl, or if at that point it's just Swamgrota abandoning his teammates. I mean, either or. You can definitely have some fun with that. Mopsio is now a fixed part of Nothing Left, and Main is currently subbing in for them too. Now they have a bit of a new name. They are called Nautilus Support now. It's apparently a bit of a meme for Linked, who actually isn't here today. But I kind of refuse to go for another name change here. I was just sitting there, I was looking at this and was like, nope. Not happening. My stream, my rules. I have a name for you guys already. There's no need to change that, especially since the guy that gets memed isn't even here. So we are sticking with Nothing Left so that people actually know what's going on here. But yeah, so it's interesting. So Fury picks Zeratul immediately as the first pick here for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Have a Nubarak banned out, and we're also seeing Anna denied as well as Hanzo. Who's gonna play the support actually for these bad boys? Blake Kidney would make sense, to be honest. Ah, Main on Jaina. Alright, they're going in for the quick snipe right off the get-go. We're not seeing Jaina, therefore, on the side of Granit Gaming. These days, what we oftentimes have is an attempt to counter the Zeratul and Jaina composition with a Tyrael on the other side, with Sanctification. A lot of the teams went back into that early Tyrael pick. But in this case, you can obviously still just pick it away from your opponent, play around that. Alright, in comes Malfurion and ETC, Lauber, once again with one of his True and Tried, and since they don't have access to Henning's Tyrande, playing Malfurion for the root now. Henning usually picks Tyrande even on the first pick position, that's why it's so interesting that we actually see Zeratul now for them. Tai, he still could go Tracer here, by the way. We have Junkrat being banned out. And I guess looking at the draft, you can't really go Tracer. I mean, you could, but normally with Zeratul these days, you see more so another melee at the side. If you go Tracer here and then another damage dealer next to Tracer, you have to either go for a melee character that really packs a punch, or you have to pick Zeratul on the off lane there. So it's a little bit of a weird one at this point. But Tracer obviously always a character that Tai can play. Liming is open too on the other hand, so that's another one. And I would still expect a dedicated offlaner to be taken for them and playing this a little bit more melee heavy. But again, we're currently in the pick phase for Nothing Left, and there is still, I mean, Garrosh is still open. You can go Johanna if you're a bit more worried about your wave clear, that's an option. And they pick Tracer, alright. That is actually starting to become so much more common these days, that we have a double support Tracer composition, or sometimes even a double support Vala composition. So much for Tai getting Tracer. That ain't happening. Not anymore. Picked away quickly. And how do you react? Is it going to be the Liming? Or are we going to see something else for Tai here? I mean, in the past he played even melee. He went into Thrall, for example, or Malthael. There's Thrall for Quasar and Tai on Vala. Yeah, he likes the cowgirls. And Mopsio on Johanna. Ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set, the Masters Clash tournament, and we're going into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Our first and only map in this best of one here in the Swiss system that we're playing in the first round. So let's get this party started. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 1, and also the last game of our little series here, as we have nothing left against Granit Gaming. And on the left side of our map, Tomb of the Spider Queen, we have Podibos on Tacita, Bleak Kidney on Tyrande, Mopsio on Johanna, DAB on Tracer, and Mene on Jaina. On the right side of the map, Granit Gaming with Henning on Malfurion, sub-player de Quasar on Thrall, we have Ty on Vala, Lauba on ETC, and Fury on Zeratul. Again, it is a best of one, and I think that once more, we are in a Swiss group stage system here for the Masters Clash series, for our tournament here today. And yep, with that said, we're now having also DAB down at the bottom of the map, already dancing around a little bit. Currently having Lauba already double-checking that bush and trying to set something up for Malfurion to follow up on. This should be a good one. Honestly, the little subs that we have here, especially Mene now subbing in and a couple of role swaps on the side of nothing left, is really interesting to me. This could definitely work out here. And honestly, on a personality level, this team has a bit of a chance to kind of explode. As you might know, Mene and Mopsio are kind of strong personalities. I can totally see this going south if things don't go their way. So I'm a little bit curious how this tournament in general is going to go from the perspective of the two here. With Mene subbing in, that's obviously also an indicator that Washed Up is not participating in this tournament. I think in total we have 16 teams that participate in this, and yeah, so there is a little bit of a couple of mixed teams, a couple of teams of unknown players, and yeah, it should be an interesting one. I'm honestly excited for it. I mean, Timarsha is playing, just to give you one other example, we obviously have LFT playing too, a lot of the French teams are playing, and other French teams have signed up too. So there's a lot of parallel games at the same time, but we're going to catch as many of those Swiss rounds as we can. Probably in the next round we're going to follow one of the two teams here. Pretty much guarantees us that we're going to get the maximum amount of matches that we could get, but we already always follow one of them. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at that. For now, we're having a pretty awesome game to start things off with. Lauba maybe sliding in a little bit too deep here, trying to dodge the stun. There's a 5-man commitment and the kill against ETC. Fury nearly died too. He's sitting at 80 hit points right now, and that rotation allows obviously nothing left to also claim their siege giant camp at this point. So they go in, take it to, and all the way up to the top, we're now having Mene still doing his thing with the wave clear. I mean, Mene, generally speaking, is obviously the one that is not only going to deliver the burst damage, but he's also very, very good at clearing waves now through the AoE damage that he brings to the team. And that is going to help them a lot in those skirmishes against Granit Gaming here. Just pushing those out, get a bit of map control. Tai goes down as we have DAB going for another quick kill. And in the meantime, we're having Henning attacked too. DAB stopped for a moment and Lauba is moving in, trying to help Henning out, but that might actually be the end of him. He gets body blocked already by 2 heroes and there's absolutely no way for him to get out of this one. Down he goes, and that's 3 kills against 0 already, and they're not stopping there. They're actually trying to go for Fury. De Quasar is also on the run. Gems are obviously being lost here too, and this is a bit of a disaster for Granit Gaming in the early game. Keep in mind, these are the boys that actually have the #1 spot in Division S right now. And again, have to point out that they're playing with a sub, but so does nothing left. But the interesting part is really that adding that extra damage and having that roll swap has apparently done quite a bit for nothing left here. Looking fantastic in the early game. 3 kills against 0, they get the turn in now too, and with that they can try and take the first structures down in this game. So once again, we have Fury, Henning and De Quasar, 3-manning in the bot lane, the rest is rotating. Lauba is moving to the top right now and is Happy Cloud together with Vala, who obviously went into the hybrid build again, getting the wave clear too. In terms of talents, I mean, nothing insane. We're actually seeing once again the Life Leech for Podibos, obviously paired with Tracer in nearly every single setup that they could possibly go for here. Just making sure that you always have the extra support for DAB and allow him to go a bit deeper with his own engage. Super important for them obviously too. Now we're having Proc Rock on level 1 for Lauba. Good push through the bot lane, and De Quasar just has no chance there. I mean, De Quasar has to just get the hell out of there. He's sitting at 26 stacks. And now that we're having the bot lane attacked like this fort is going to fall. There's nobody helping them out. Instead, we're having the blue team actually rotating from the mid lane, where they damage the towers to the top. And now with the towers already low, they can't really rotate down to the bottom quickly enough. So that's already a fort gone. Pretty decent, actually. Pretty good setup. Now level 8 is nearly ready for them. Furio with the top lane has to be a bit careful too. It's all about, again, Tracer. Tracer trying to go in, trying to, of course, connect another bomb. Does so. And Tai is nearly dead. Seriously, Vala is going to get pretty much wrecked by Tracer during this entire game, as you can see here. It's not the only one. I mean, DAB is currently having a field day. He feels like a kid in a candy store. I mean, he's walking around there and just gets kill after kill after kill the entire time here. It's like, ooh, this is amazing. I don't know who to kill first. Has a quest completed for Thrall. A bit late to the party, but doesn't really matter. Still able to get the double chain lightning out now. Ancestral Wrath on level 4. And yep, they're starting to do their thing. Starting to interrupt as much as they can. Maybe even trying to delay this until they have level 10. Chances of that happening are a little bit slim. But they have a lot of interrupts here that they can use. And it's nearly impossible at this point for Granit Gaming to turn everything in that they have. But they only need another 3. And they're going to be good. So that would work for them. Here comes the engage again. Henning might actually fall to this. Oh, the root. Yeah, that locked DAB down just for long enough to make sure that he couldn't get anything here. But now in the mid lane we're seeing the turret, the towers fall too. Or do we? Yes, at least one goes down. Second one is an easy grab as well. Siege Giants are being attacked at the bottom of the map again, so that's the second time that Nothing Left is going to try and get this one done. But the entire match so far really feels like we're having one team. Oh, nice. Soaking the owl so that Tai can turn in. That was well done here by Lauber. No interrupt. The problem is it's basically a free defense because level 10 abilities are not ready. But this entire setup, it really feels like Nothing Left is the team that currently dictates what's being done here. That might be a kill. Not quite. Vala was attempting to chip in, but that didn't quite work out. So now we have the heroic abilities. And with that, we should actually see a heavy defense against those Werebeavers. Maybe even a few kills. But as it stands, honestly, you look at this game and the entire time it just feels like Granit Gaming is on the back foot. The entire time. It's one team running the show here. Moving from one point on the map to the next, trying to get kills, trying to get the objective, really keeping their opponent low. And Granit Gaming is just sitting tight, waiting for an opportunity to get a few kills in and maybe take a lead in experience. But right now we could see another turn in here for Nothing Left. Already trying to check that out. I mean, either way, the 3 kills against 0 is going to be a bit tricky, but now you have the Mosh Pit, you have the Void Prison, so there's a lot of setup that they can use. Mopsio has 26 gems, so he should be careful. They have 56 in total. They can turn in again. Yeah, there's already the Mosh Pit. Void Prison, Tazada down. That's the first one to die. And can they get a counter? Oh, the ring! What a ring! Henning survives, but barely. Blekidney goes down. Zeratul falls too, but he got 2 kills for his efforts. They're getting all of the gems here, but holy macaroni. What a fight. 3 kills against 2, and that Ring of Frost for Mena just destroyed Granit Gaming. I mean, without that, they would have been completely falling apart here. But yeah, in this case, the gems have been recovered. It's still 62 against 44. But what a slaughter. And Fury going in deep for the double kill. That was an important one too. A lot of cool moves there. That Mosh Pit and at the same time the isolation with the Void Prison. Then the quick kill against Tazada. I mean, again, Tazada has a super low HP pool. So that was super important as well. But yeah, top lane. That's why we're now seeing Lauber starting to rotate in once more with 25 gems in the hands. And yeah, there we go. No, not quite. All right. At this point, if you're looking at Nothing Left, I mean, they're just making their plays. They have 5 kills against 3, and they're already signaling they want to go for it. Hold the chicken, hold the cheese. They're going ham, baby. They're moving in right now. And could that be a kill? Nah, not quite against Lauber here. Not quite. So yeah, right now, oh, Voila! Oh, DAB! And that should be a kill, and indeed it is, and the recall is already there. Nicely done. Well played here by him. And they get the second kill against ETC now too. Double kill for nothing left, and they get the triple as Mene goes in and just takes them down. That was an insane setup against them once more. Really, really well done. That was actually really cool. Getting him behind the gate too. That was awesome. So now we have 8 kills against 4, 13 versus 13. At the bottom of the map, Tequaza is saying like, I'm getting 13 for us boys, I'm doing something. And he does, but he is needed for the defense now, and I'm not quite sure if they can pull that off. Top lane has to fight again. The Void Prison didn't lock anybody down, was a bit of a panic move by Fury anyways. And just look at those heroes. They lost so many gems in that little encounter. He lost so much here. And obviously they're also now far behind in experience. I mean, this entire level at this point. Okay, so with that, Mene, DAB and Blikitde jumping around there. Getting another camp for the team. Second camp taken at the bot lane. Let's take a look at the damage output. 29,000. Mene currently sitting at 16k. Probably a little bit salty that he's so far not main damage. Saying like, boys, give me another fight. Ring us up, give me another fight, baby. That's what Mene is currently looking for. A little bit of 70,000 for time. You can tell where the problem is, though. I mean, it's really just this issue of keeping everybody alive here. You have Mene against you on the mage and DAB on Tracer. I mean, you know you're in trouble. This is honestly a bit insane. I mean, honestly, this is crazy. If you think about that for just a bit, these are two of this. One of the guys is one of the best Tracer players that we have in the game, and the other guy is the best mage player. And they're now on the same team. So if you're squishy, you hate your life right now. If you're squishy, you're actually looking at this and you're like, why me? Why me? Why am I in this game? Why is this happening to me? Where's my triple support to keep me alive here? Well, it's nobody to be found. Boss is now taken. And obviously that means that the keep at the top is down. Oh, Fury! Damn, Fury has been in cutting it close a few times now. Again, we have the quick move here from the boss as he's starting to go in. They're obviously trying to end with this one. At least they're looking for a kill, but in this case, they actually give it up. It's a little bit weird to me, because so far it really seemed like the initial idea was to just see if they can get a kill and then go for the core, but they moved back very, very quickly. Because theoretically speaking, if the only thing that you wanted to accomplish is getting the keep, then you don't go with the boss, then you just let the boss get the keep. You know it's gonna fall. So the only reason to move in with the boss is that you have hopes that you can get a kill and then core. But now they're going for the turn-in again. Web Weavers are descending here. And we're going to find out if they can maybe get the damage done now here in the middle. And maybe even get another keep. I mean, at this point, this fort is going to fall quickly. If they get kills, they can make the plays here. They have 16, so the talent advantage is in their hands. And pretty much the entire game, Granit Gaming has played defense. They got a single turn-in, and that turn-in came just as nothing left hit level 10. So it was easily defended by the blue team. And instead, we're having the blue team just making one move after another, pushing straight through the middle. Ring again, hitting 2, and there's the follow-up. Vala and Malfurion are both dead. Web Weavers now on every single lane, starting to knock onto the keeps or the core. Mene with another fantastic setup, sitting at 20,000 damage. Not quite reflecting how impactful he was in this game, but DAB, of course, dancing and darting around here. The only one who hasn't actually died in this game. And keep in mind, this is a best of 1. This is for points in the standings that you're playing here. There's the mosh pit. The problem is that Thrall is now down and there's literally nobody to do enough damage. Not even Tazza dies, and his hit point pool is notoriously low. So the shields are already falling. They're going for the kill against Fury, and yep, he's down. And they're getting ETC too. At this moment, the play for the core itself. And nothing left is taking the first victory in the Swiss group stage system that we have here at the Master Clash series. GG, and well played. Battlefield of Eternity, ladies and gentlemen. We are in round 2 of our little Swiss system group stage here. So now we're having Wind and Rain going up against Team Russia. Now Stork for Team Russia actually had to leave. He played the first round with his team and he has currently like a social obligation. There's apparently a birthday of his really good friend of his. So him and a few friends are heading out and that's why he can't play the rest of the tournament today with his team. He hopes that they're going to make it into the top 4 and then he's going to play with them again tomorrow if they can accomplish that. So there's a sub player on the side of Team Russia right now and I have no fucking idea how to pronounce his name. I'm not even close. I looked at it a few times and I'm just literally sitting there. I'm just like, I got nothing. It's like I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. I asked Khaldor if he can maybe translate that, if that means anything in Russian, and Khaldor was just like, I don't know, it was like, pfft. So yeah, at this point it's like Toki Yigul. I am gonna call him Toki Yiski. I have zero idea what that means, if I'm even remotely close. This is seriously one of those heads where you just think, he takes the keyboard and he goes... That's how you get a nickname like that. You hit caps lock first of all so that it looks cool, and that's how that guy came up with his nickname. It's like you roll the head from the left to the right on the keyboard, or you smash. Hulk smash or face roll. One of the two. That's the only thing that you can actually do there. Alright, so either way, we have now a best of 1 again. This is just for gathering points for the standings in the top 4 advance. So now we're having Zeratul and Maiev banned out, so also the ban of Anubarak. And we see Tyrande eliminated. Now Li Ming is coming in the first pick position, even for Wind and Rain for Marker, so he's really trying to just absolutely destroy with the resets here. On Battlefield of Eternity. Some people are already suggesting I should call them Tokyo Ghoul. Honestly, that was my first thought when I saw that nickname. It was my first thought, but it's not even close. I mean, it starts with Tok, and at the end there's a ghoul, even though it's written wrong, but everything in the middle is just completely wrong. So I'm gonna call him Toxi. Toxi or Toki or something like that. Tokioski. Tokiovsky, I don't know. We'll figure it out during the game. We have Jimmy and Tyrael being picked here. Bana Beer immediately with Tracer. That has been a trend actually for Team Russia, that they're playing double support Tracer compositions. It's a bit similar to what we've seen in the first round from Nothing Left with Mopsio, DAB and Mene here today. So as the bans keep coming in, with Tyrael already banned out, they're actually getting rid of Ana. There's no support there. It's actually a little bit of an interesting setup. You see the Tyrande ban from Wind and Rain, and they don't pick a support. So now there's literally another support picked out against them, and another one banned. They still have access to Rhaegar. We've seen some teams with Tyrael go into a Kharazim composition, and against Tracer you can definitely play Kharazim. If you want to go for a ham move here, you could go into Kharazim. If not for Reyna already in the mix, I would have suggested Greymane. But obviously, single frontliner Tyrael, not really your best idea. I mean, that said, let's have a look at what we're having from Wind and Rain. ETC gets actually banned out. I honestly don't know what Toxiovsky is gonna pick as hero. I don't even know his role, but it looks like he's DPS. So we're having Tracer with now the double support that we've already been alluding to. It's actually weird. I could have totally seen them ban Tassadar instead of banning ETC. You kind of know what they want. So instead they just said like, yeah, whatever, pick your Tassadar, we're fine with that. Li Ming is obviously hoping for a good flank against Tassadar and then taking it down pretty quickly. Yeah, Jimmy, Li Ming. Are we gonna get a Blaze maybe even? Thrall? Another option. There we go. Thrall and Anduin. Alright, the Crybaby makes it into the game now too. And the last pick. What do we have? I still need a little bit of... Ah, well, you could pick off lane. Could pick off lane. We've seen a lot of those double support Tracer compositions with a single frontliner. But you could still pick the offlane hero here. And you should pick the offlane hero here. Who else is going to take it? The only one who we could think about is Tassadar. But yeah, so let's see what they're going to get there. It is Imperius. Alright. And Toxievsky gets switched over into Johanna, so apparently he is playing the main tank role for them. Shamzik now on Imperius, and well, it's Battlefield of Eternity. It's the only map in the best of one. Let's see which team gets a point or two for the standings here, and check that out. So yeah, Battlefield of Eternity coming up next. Game number 1. The only one. I'm so used to this all being best of 5s or best of 3s that every single time I automatically start this game with it. But yeah, so we're actually starting to jump into Battlefield of Eternity. I'm really happy about the healer choice on the side of Wind and Rain because it increases the quota of women that we have on the team by 1. So I absolutely love this. It's nearly equality on the side of Wind and Rain now that we have Anduin taken. So I'm very proud of them here. Li Ming and Anduin, the two girls on the side of the blue team. And now we have Reina, played by Skog Galgulna on Tyrael. Maka, as I mentioned before, and Li Ming. And Max Payne is playing Thrall. Alright, and on the right side, Team Russia at this point with Shamzik on Imperius. Barnabier is playing Tracer. We have Farlander and Tacita. And I was actually told during the loading screen that my first instinct was actually apparently correct. Tokyo Yiski Iguli whatever is apparently the Russian variation of Tokyo Ghoul. But to be honest, by now I don't really care anymore. So we're going to call him Toxievsky because I think that sounds funny. It's literally the only reason. So now that Malfurion is also being played by Kolya here, I'm kind of ready for our game on Battlefield of Eternity. So let's make sure that we're jumping in as soon as the players are ready. And we're back to business as both of the teams have solved those little issues that they had. So let's get this party started. It is a best of 1, so every single move counts. You screw up once and you have a much worse standing in this particular setup right now. This one is actually a little bit hype. I mean, first of all, we're having Tokievsky on the other side. I have zero idea about that guy, so like, I honestly don't know what to expect from him here. Can make a name for himself right now. Anduin again, pretty much the same strategy that we saw the last time. We're currently having bold strategy here on level 1, so the additional level increase at the cost of the cooldowns. And already a little bit of a party down here at the bot lane. Marker is dishing out the pain, whereas Vanabia is obviously hoping to get some in on his own with good old Tracer here. Vanabia is actually a pretty sick Tracer, I gotta say. Like, he has been murdering it lately. He got us a couple of really good kills. And I'm curious, because for me personally, this is again a little bit of a battle between the two damage dealers. Mark on one side and then Vanabia on the other. Nice bomb connect here too. But you can really tell that there's a lot against Tracer right now. Yeah, Anduin with the heals the entire time as well. And the cool thing about Anduin is obviously also his save abilities that he has. But yeah, generally speaking, I always gotta laugh a little bit. Me being a guy that does not know anything about the World of Warcraft lore, with the exception that the Horde rules and the Alliance sucks, is looking at this and is thinking like, why the hell does a guy have a sword if he doesn't use it? And I hear it's his dad's sword or something like that, but yeah. So maybe it's like an inheritance thing, like I don't quite know, but still, that guy sits literally in the back the entire time, throws out little fireballs and just sits there and says like, oh, I got a sword but I don't want to fight. So yeah, that's for me a coward right there. By the way, we have one kill, that's the one against Malfurion. We have also a bit of an adjustment on level 1. We've been talking about this in the Chinese League. Exterminator has now been taken. There's not a lot of slows here on their side, so I can actually get behind the Exterminator pick here for sure. I feel like people that watch me talk about the talent in the China streams always think that I hate the talent. I honestly don't. It's just that I really think that if you have an Arthas and a Jaina on your team, you should go for Ace in the hole 100%, even on this map. Even though this is the one where you get the most value out of it. I like that attempt to go for the fountain here. There are a few teams do that diligently, and now we're seeing this from Wind and Rain. So that already works quite nicely. Good job by them. And with it, at the same time, now also 11 stacks for Thrall top lane, as they're still fighting this out with Imperius. I mean, the Immortal is going to pop up on the map pretty soon, and then we're going to have our first little fight here. The build for Imperius so far is pretty much what you would expect. So at this point, we're having Burn the Impure and Battle Hunger taken. Also seeing Johanna still at the bottom of the map. I mean, he could have really scored a couple of points here if he would have used the money pick, but he didn't do that. He decided in favor of the Rocket, which isn't really too bad, but at the same time, I'm still questioning these choices slightly that we're seeing from him. So, Tokievsky is currently doing pretty well here, considering, but the game has just started. We have the Moral Compass again on level 4 for Anduin. Oh, there's the move against Liming, and Marke gets saved. Nicely done by Anduin. The attempt to connect the bomb actually fails. Doesn't hit Marke, and he is still alive. Nicely done, though. Good attempt by Team Russia to get the kill, and a really good save on the other side. So both of the teams are very well aware that this game is where everything kind of counts. Once again, Jimmy's moving in now too. Obviously, in an ideal world, he wants to home in on the Immortal itself because of Exterminator. Nice damage against Kolya here. Farlander, again, with the attempt to keep everybody alive thanks to his shields. He himself needs, of course, to be cautious. With a low HP pool of Tacita, these Liming combos become deadly. Talking deadly, there's Thrall down. Thrall eliminated. Tracer already with a kill. Nicely done by Barnabir. They're looking for another one. Trying to move in against Galne Gulnar. There's another connect, and not enough to drop Tyrael. But for the time being, a little bit of a momentum swing in favor of Team Russia, as they're now attempting to go straight for the Immortal. Gotta be careful here. So at this point, having again the push out on the left side. Yep. Togievsky at the front is currently riding away on his little rocket. He was in trouble for a second, but Kolya kept him alive. Malfurion is running out of mana on the other hand. So with that, he needs to be a little bit more careful. Needs to tap the fountain, and as Malfurion comes back, they have to sustain again to fight over this. But definitely the lead now in the first one for Team Russia. Oh, Tracer! Ooh, nice! Toki! Run, baby, run! Gets the shield. Galne Gulnar is low and goes down. Looks for the explosion, but Shamzik escapes over the debris with a quick lunge here. Nicely done by him. At the same time, now halftime show is being reached by the blue team after all. Or is it? Yep. They barely get it. Shamzik! Yep, no shield ready. No range just yet. And actually a bit of a switch. Oh my god, that bomb hurts! The Crybaby goes down, and Reyna follows. Both of them dead. Now we're having a bit of a focus here with the shield power word here. At this point, with the Divine Stars. So a bit of a different build than we've seen before. Slight adjustments on that side. Okay. Also, full focus now onto the Immortals, and it looks like Team Russia is actually going to lose this one again. Barnaby is dancing around on the right side. It's a bit of a race that we're seeing right now. Team Russia might win it after all if they can focus here a little bit. They're trying to defend theirs for as long as possible. Barnaby is now forced to also join the fight. Another good save from Anduin, by the way, against Galne Gulnar this time. And they're holding the choke point for the time being. Their Immortal is incredibly low though, and with a bit more poke, it is gonna fall. Barnabir went deep for the kill, but look how low they are. They can't stay here for much longer. Here comes the connect. Ooh, and the kill against Tyrael and Liming. Both of them down. Nicely done. But the Immortal still in the hands of their opponent. 6 kills against 2 for Team Russia. But we have the Immortal taken by Wind and Rain. Nice back and forth that we're currently having here. I like it. But still defense all the way up at the top. And I gotta say, Togievsky on his Johanna is actually doing much better than I expected. A little bit curious to see when we have the Blessed Shields in play, how much he can do with that if he has good engages. But so far he's doing a decent job, just zoning the opponent out. Bot lane, under a bit of pressure as Wind and Rain is starting to use the bot lane, push in instead of the top with the Punisher itself. Got good damage in, but they haven't really dropped the fort yet. So at the time, we're now also seeing, yeah, that's the important one. Psionic projection that could have actually saved Imperius a little bit early on when he died. Both of them actually about to fall. Wow, both forts nearly down. I mean, just look at this. This has nothing. Down at the bottom of the map, they're trying to move in now too. Here comes again the little bit of a move there with Shamzik, trying to see if he can maybe quickly connect. Up at the top, the fight. Another bomb connects. Good damage. How much damage does Tracer have at this point? 23,000. Not quite on the same level as Liming, but damn son, he is getting that word in. Nicely done here. Every single time I see that animation, by the way, from Anduin, I think Judgment is coming out. I know that there's no Tyrael on the other side. I'm fully aware of that. I know that we're not going to see Judgment as a pick. But every single time I see that little bit of light just around him, I think Judgment is coming. And I'm just looking at this and it's like, YOLO! And Tyrael making the Superman move. But not quite what's happening here. Still a bit confusing to me. Team Russia with level 10 abilities. That gives us... Imperious, you're better than this. What's a stain? No. We want the damage, my friend. Goes for the armament. It's a little bit tricky. Look at the foot of the bot lane. Exactly, it's gone. And the one at the top is also soon gonna fall. And nice save again by Anduin. I mean, the Crybaby can't fight, but boy can that guy heal, or at least help his teammates out in a situation like this. Woo! Trade value! Ooh! Toxki! Oh, the kill! But the counter kill against Liming. Toxievsky not making it this time. First death against him, but damn, with at least Liming taken out, that takes Maka off the board for a little bit longer, and that's not too bad. It was a decent trade for them. 2 for 1. Structure position is still a bit dicey from them. Talent, salvation, the holy word salvation. I've said it before, but literally every single talent description of Anduin just wants me to want to puke. Bold strategy, the moral compass, the power world shield, and the holy world salvation. And I'm just sitting there as like, where's my bucket? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like giving him a little bit too much crap. Honestly, he has some really cool tools in this arsenal. Just don't get me wrong. The saves that we've already seen from Anduin, not only in this series but in others as well, is awesome. So as a character, it's kind of funny. It's just like, it's just weird. The names are just awesome. Anyways. Alright. There we have again. Sanctification already used. They're starting to jump in. Toxkievsky. That nearly took him down. But Make, what's going on with Make? Banabia. I told you this is going to be about the 2 damage healers, didn't I? And they're starting to jump in and take them down. Nicely done here. This is the kill that they have to get. Look at that. Immediately interrupted. Yeah, Toxki, that's my boy right there. Subbing in for Stalk and doing it well. Good interrupt against Anduin. So much for your holy word, my friend. You can shove that. Nice interrupt. Honestly, they have a couple of interrupts, if you're honest about it. I mean, you have an Imperious on that side too, so that definitely worked. At this point, we're having 33,000 already by Tracer. It's again pretty close here on the first one. Quite close for sure. But yeah, with that said, we're seeing now also Tassadar about to complete his own level 1 talent, and once that he gets the second quest reward, that damage output is going to be nice and nasty. Once, of course, the 16. Toxki, again in a little bit of trouble. Galgul, no! Oh, the kill! Tracer, Banabia, seriously, what a monster. What a monster right now. They're trying to race it, and Max Payne is already going in, but it's of course the Exterminator of Skok that does the most damage here. They're forced to defend against. Make is still low, armament already put out. And we're having again the attempt of Tracer to get slowly and steadily the Immortal eliminated from Wind and Rain. This time they want to win it. They're starting to go in again. And can they get the kill? Toxkievsky, not quite sure. No, moves away from this one. Ooh, and a big hit. There's once again Anduin doing his thing. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be enough, to be honest. It actually saved Reyna. But Anduin goes down, sacrificing himself for a good cause here. They're still fighting for this one. This is highlighting just so well how good Liming is on this map. Even though they're constantly hero behind, they're poking and poking and poking and poking and getting tons of damage in. I mean, they're actually losing this one, but it is a lot closer than you would have expected. I mean, just for a second, look at that kill count. 11 against 3. But yeah. Even with that, it's a level lead, it's a talent advantage. Top 4 is about to go down. Nice! Fallen with the aggro. That is just the troll right there. If he gets a single hit out, that fort is gone. Oh god. So yeah, so they're starting to go this time straight to the bottom of the map. Only at the top lane we have one, but damn, well, they're actually burning this down pretty quickly. That damage from Skok with the Exterminator is doing wonders against the Immortal. Damn, son. Get through the wall and that's it. That's not really good for them. But they're winning in every single team fight, so that's already a great thing. At some point, this is something that Wind and Rain has to change, because as the death time has increased, they're going to have more trouble with that. Again, the holy word comes out, and with that, they're currently safe. Alright. The cooldown is... I mean, it is a significant one, but they will have it ready again for the next fight. Already the attempt to go straight in for the camp down here. level 13 talents give a slight advantage to Team Russia. But apparently they're willing to fight for it, and they're going in. Markic explodes again. Barnabia is just destroying. I'm sorry, but Barnabia is just absolutely killing it. I totally like what we're seeing from him. Sanctification comes out. They're trying to make the play for Reina, and Jimmy is down. This is Jimmy, and Jimmy is gone. And now we're having another open corridor straight towards that fort, and this time they are going to get at least this one. Top lane still has to be guarded, but so far we're seeing Team Russia getting quite the lead here. And with this, already having them dropping fort number 1 at the bot lane. Also, we have a full focus again into the Divine Star, so the movement speed advantage with the speed of the Pious. It's actually something that we've seen very, very often here. We had a couple of different setups. Khaldor actually played support the other day, and on level 1 he went for the auto attack damage, so he went for a bit of a different build with the level 4 adjustment. But it's pretty common actually to see at least the shield power word here, and then also having the speed of the Pious on 13. Obviously we have a limited sample size of Anduin plays on the higher level of play here in Division S, but we've seen a couple of games of him now. Could have seen Light Bomb, by the way, too. I mean, generally speaking, we had a Light Bomb build with Genji in the team. That was pretty nice. If you have a Tyrael in the mix, you could obviously execute a simple strategy. In this case, we're having again a save attempt. Thrall. Here comes the ult from Anduin, saving them for the time being. And actually, they're saving Max Payne, aka Max Passion. Yep, he's able to get away here. Nicely done. Anduin again with a place here. All right. He's a little bit impactful. He just has to make sure that he doesn't cut himself on that big sword that he apparently is not able to use. But outside of that, hey! Anduin was a little cloud, just dancing around here. Whee! I'm on a cloud, boys! But they're doing well around the Immortal. The question is simply is can they finally win a team fight? Because if they can't, then Team Russia is going to start capitalizing. Oh! On those death timers, and unfortunately no follow-up from the Russians here. Wind and Rain is moving away. By the way, what I really liked is the game, or the team that hosted this game, was actually Team Russia, which means that they were initially on the left side, aka they were the blue team, and then I don't know who hosted the game actually anymore, but I think it was Farlander, and he just went in and said like, yeah, dude, that's not happening, we're not blue. If I have a choice, we are the red team. We get an extra 10% movement speed and damage if we are the red team. KK Comrade in action. And boy, what a fight over here. And there's the kill against Tyrael again. Nice! The explosion value. Trade, baby. And Tacitar and Reina both go down. It's kill for kill the entire time. 3 standing for both teams now. But obviously, still seeing Kolya and his boys going for the Immortal there. I'm loving this one. That's a fun one. Toskiewski is still right there and trying to zone them out, slow them down a bit too. Doesn't have the ult yet, but he actually is going to have it back in another 15 seconds. And they're getting the halftime show. That's already a big win. Barnabia. Let's have another look at Barnabia. 62,000 damage. I mean, at this point, I feel he has to apologize for how good he plays on that hero. 0 deaths so far, and he's just rocking the kills. Alright, there's the defensive position from Wind and Rain, but the rest of the team is obviously coming back in too, and the level 16 talent advantage is a huge deal. I mean, right now we're talking about Psionic Echo. That's important, and the Sovereign Armor as well. So, you are in addition to that, having a bit more survivability. And that's another Immortal that they're getting right now. That's another Immortal right there. And this one is very likely going to be a bit more impactful. Obviously going to walk through the top lane. So, yeah, let's check that out. Starting to make their way, well, not to the top lane. Actually, of course, they are Russian. Of course they're going for the aggression. I'm such a silly idiot. Why would I think that they are going for the push? Stupid me. You can fight at the bot lane, and the Russians, they like to fight. They kill them all, and they take them down here. Well, at least they're trying to, but now 16 is ready on both sides. And Shamsi needs to be a bit careful, but he's actually murdering Maka. Woo! And we have also still the Immortal in play. The fort at the top lane has already been destroyed, and now the Immortal is currently battling it out here. Barnabia is still looking for that quick connect with the bomb. Can he find it? Nope. Thunderstorm completed. A bit of an adjustment here. Look at the 16. Inner focus actually picked. Alright, alright, alright. I mean, I like actually these talents that have a little bit of an integrated cooldown reduction. Honestly feel that can be pretty cool. But that's a pretty nice setup. Keep is down, and with the enough focus, so that you have the flash heal available again, you can actually... I mean, he's already making some 6 plays when it comes to saving people, but that one is going to help him even more. So right now we have 15 kills against 5. And yeah, let me actually take a bit of a look at the 95,000 heals from Anduin. That isn't too bad, to be honest. I mean, Malfurion is 94,000 at this point, so they're actually pretty close with this. But again, the Russians are getting their kills the entire time. So yeah, they move down to the bottom of the map right now for the camp. If they can get that too, that would be fantastic. But obviously we're having Wind and Rain already in position for it. Wind and Rain is just... I mean, it's weird. They've just lost a keep, and they have 10 kills less than their opponent, but they are still only a level behind. That's honestly insane. So another fight starting up again. Team's going for it. Yep, there we have it. Shamzik. Word already out. Anduin should get a rapper skin or something, and every single time he goes for the ult, he's like, word. There's also the Sanctification after the kill against Imperius. Word is being used, and Toskievsky is also down, so yeah, Johanna is dead, and all of a sudden Wind and Rain is absolutely killing it. What the hell? The entire game they're getting slaughtered, and now they're getting a double kill and are starting to push it against the fort. Their own keep, on the other hand, or the core, I want to say, is a little bit low, so they have to be super careful with this. They need to send someone back there eventually, but I was actually for a moment thinking they would try to make the play for the keep itself. But not quite there yet. But it's insanity, sorry, but they were behind and now all of a sudden 2 kills and they're nearly on the same experience. They're also not going for this. Thrall is actually the only one who's currently trying to defend this. But up at the top lane, there's still the little move that we're having right here. With a bit... Oh! Anduin gets caught by the stun circle. So it's a bit of a race. That's won by Wind and Rain. But with the 50-50, we still have 5-5 on the map. So both teams in full force. There's no 20 threat just yet. Everybody's pre-tapping for the time being. And there we go. There's already the attack, and obviously the Psionic Storm and the Echo is doing extremely well here to soften up the opponents. What does Fallen actually have in damage output? 65,000. That ain't bad. That's actually pretty decent. Yeah, this is nearly the same amount of damage that we are seeing from Jimmy. Obviously a bit of a different damage output. Direct single target damage against the AoE, but still counts. Helps to soften up the targets. And the AoE of him against minions is obviously also quite decent. And comes Barnaby again. The lack of lockdown that we're having on the blue team is a little bit of an issue when Tracer is just playing this aggressive. I mean, they have at least Thrall with a Wolf, but they don't have much more than that. Alright, Toskievsky up at the front. Do we see the ult? Yep, goes out with a blessed shield, and immediately Anduin is there. Word. And everybody has to jump out of it. But those cooldowns are burned. Sanctification is still up, so they didn't layer those cooldowns. They did previously, but in that last fight, they didn't. They still have the camp pushing through the top lane, and obviously the catapults are there now too. These storms don't help, and now you're literally caught in the choke point that Farlander can control however he sees fit, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Fantastic setup, and there's the Sanctification. Great play by Tyrael, completely preventing the worst. But they're still caught here. They can't go through this. This is a death zone right now, which means that we're seeing that Immortal in the hands of the Russians once more. In comes Tassadar. There's the kill against Tyrael. Tries to go for the trade value. They want to counter kill, but they can't get it just yet. And now it's a 5 versus 4. Shamzik gets the shield, and now it's absolutely fine. They're starting to rocket again at level 20. Is so close for the blue team. Oh, sorry, for the red team. The core is actually falling at the same time. Barnaby is going in again. Already the triple kill. Li Ming and Reyna both down, and Thrall follows. 2 catapults homing in on the core, which is down to 50%. And this is Team Russia taking it. Anduin gets taken down too, and that's a 5-man wipe right there as we are moving into the core, and Team Russia will decide Battlefield of Eternity in their favor and get more points here for the standings in the Swiss system at the Masters Clash. GG, and well played by Team Russia. Great series by the two here. Game number 3 of the day. Not in this series, since this isn't a series, this is a best of 1, and if you just tuned in, this is going to be confusing to you. So, Battlefield of Eternity is the map. We have the Snails Eaters going up against Team Russia. currently at the Masters Clash here, and this is a Swiss system in our first round of the tournament. It's a group stage, and with that we're having now all of the teams kind of playing against each other. It's not quite a round robin, but yeah, the Snails Eaters are going up against Team Russia right now. I'm currently trying to pick as many of the good games, or the games that I perceive to be really good. Interesting enough, Granit Gaming seems at this point to be on an 0-2 losing streak, and Nothing Left has also lost their last match against pretty much a rando team, which was really surprising to me when I saw it in the results. I literally was thinking about following Nothing Left and then decided against it and jumped into the Team Russia game because I thought, nah, Nothing Left is going to have an easy win there anyways, but that turned out to be wrong. It's the beauty of a best-of-1 system. You can actually cheese someone out of their mind and take them down. So, yeah. With this, we're having Zaratul and Garrosh both banned out in this one. Snail Eaters, some of those players should be familiar to you. Blade played in HGC formerly, just to name one here. Esdul has a pretty good running stream on Twitch as well. Well, a lot of the guys, Grandmaster and Master on the side of the red team. The Russians, they're playing with the support today, as you might have already known if you watched the previous game of Team Russia. Stork could play the first round in this Swiss system with his team, and then he had to go to a birthday, and is hoping now that that his team is doing well today, so that they achieve the next round where he can then play with them again. But so we have Torskievsky in the main tank position for Team Russia. And I'm fully aware, for everybody who's trying to nitpick this again, that his name is actually the Russian name for Tokyo Ghoul. That was confirmed earlier, actually, in the before the game started, the first one. And it was honestly my first thought when I saw the name, but I was just asking people, what does that mean? And even Fallen couldn't tell me, and he was like, I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm like, is that Russian? Does it translate? And he's like, pfft. And so, yeah, we call him Torskievsky. And I'm gonna run with it, because it sounds funny, and I like it. I'm a bit of an idiot, so that's what we do. Farlander and Barnabier, and also for him it's amazing, because if he ever wants to create a Smurf account, now he has a name for the Smurf account. But yeah, we are seeing that Tracer again. The Tracer focus is honestly insane, and especially the Russians. It seems just simply that whenever they can play Tracer, they are just picking her. And on the one hand, you can argue it's like, Tracer again. But on the other hand, hey, if teams don't ban out Tracer against them, then whatever. So, personally, let's put it like this. If I have the choice between Hanzo, Genji, and Tracer, I got Tracer. From an observer's perspective right now. But on the other hand, we have Esdul on Maiev. We're seeing ETC and Tyrande, so that's already a slide into a stun, which is pretty sweet as well. And yeah, Malfurion is still up. Malfurion with Tracer is pretty sick city. Question is only if the Snail Eaters are going to ban them out. That is grammatically not correct, right? This is bugging me. That has been bugging me ever since I put that name onto that scoreboard. Snails Eaters is not correct, right? It's Snail Eaters. Like, grammatically, that's not correct. And I know they have a French guy on their side, so he has an excuse why he makes that grammatical mistake over there. But it's honestly driving me nuts at this point, because I'm starting to doubt myself here, and that's really not a good thing. So, yeah. I've been looking at that name the entire time, and I'm just like, that can't be right. Maybe it's right. That can't be right. Sorry. Either way. Rhaegar's being picked this time by Kolya and Torskievsky on Johanna again. Alright, someone is one-tricking it here today. Then again, it's Battlefield of Eternity once more, so it just feels like they like that strategy. I mean, it's literally the same map and nearly the same draft. They couldn't go for Malfurion because he was banned out, so they pick Rhaegar instead. But outside of that, it's the same draft, and now I think we're going to see Imperius if he doesn't get picked away. There's Thrall on the other side, and there's Greymane. And I don't know, the draft that we're seeing from the Russians sounds familiar. Imperius, baby? Are we gonna get him? Is he gonna get picked? Is that the thing? They're hesitating. I'm not quite sure. They're looking at the setup and they're looking at ETC, and I was like, do we go for it? Do we not? What are we picking here? Yeah, Imperius. Alright, they made us doubt it for a moment, but we still have Imperius. Alright guys, Battlefield of Eternity. Once again, the Russians against the Snails Eaters. So yeah, currently the Russians are on a 2-0 actually, so looking very, very solid here in this tournament, at least up to this point. And let's jump into the game and see how it goes. Game on! Battlefield of Eternity once again with Shamzik on Imperius, Barnabia on Tracer, Falender on Tassadar, and Tchaikovsky, Tokivsky on Johanna. Kolya's playing Rhaegar again, and on the right side we have Ui on Greymane, Ezdul on Maiev, on Thrall, Salt Prophet on Tyrande, and a Blade on ETC. What's the job of a Salt Prophet? What does he do? Does he look at Storm League game and he's like, I can sense a lot of salt in this game? I mean, sounds like a pretty dumb job, to be honest with you. I mean, you can literally look at any Storm League game and you can predict salt as 100% win rate right there. So, not 100% certain how that works, but yeah, we'll see. Either way, or he just tries to find salt. But in that case, it's an easy one, right? You're just saying like, I'm detecting salt. There's so much salt, and most of it is in every Storm League game that you'll ever play. So yeah, a little bit of a weird occupation. I'm not quite sure who would hire a Salt Prophet, because that seems pretty normal to me. It's like I don't even know what to compare it to. I mean, either way. So for the time being, it's all about Tracer again, as Shamzik and Kolya are sitting up at the top lane. Blade, Greymane. Well, it's actually a 3-man that is pretty hefty, to be honest. Especially with Greymane, you have to be careful. If he gets onto one of those lanes, he is going to wreck you. Tovskievsky is the only one that's currently sitting down at the bot lane on his Johanna. Still hasn't learned, still rides the rocket here, and again, I like the rocket, but dude, money pig. Money pig! I keep telling it to people. But yeah, the question that we have, I talked in the last game a bit about how the Russian team actually intentionally switched their position on the map by moving themselves from the blue team into the red team's position. And for the Russian team, when they start in red, rumor has it that they get a bit of a damage boost and a hit point boost just by a couple of percent points. But yeah, again, that's all that it needs, right? I mean, so the rumor hasn't been proven yet, but there is a little bit of a conspiracy going on in there, and people are talking about it. The Earth is flat, and the Russians get an advantage if they're starting in red, but this time they're starting in blue. And that's a big question here. Is that a problem? Is that the moment when they fall from grace? They're starting on the blue side and they have to go up against the red team. So many questions. So many unanswered questions here in this little universe in the Nexus, and we have to ask them all. It's the heavy question that we have to ask here. But I mean, either way, we're currently having Falender and his boys with a 4-man at the top lane, so they're actually adapting a little bit to what the opponent is doing. I mean, Snails Eaters have been trying to just offset the balance a bit on the map and have more so shifted the one-on-one down to the bottom. In this case, it's actually Blade that is holding the line. If he continues to do that throughout the game, there's a good chance that we're even... I would still say we're going to see the mosh pit here. I was thinking about him maybe trying to go stage dive, but you have 2 interrupts on the other side. It's definitely manageable. Nice damage from Barnabia. This guy is a little bit more careful, though. So far we haven't seen him with a kill. Stones come out again, but those shields, obviously in level 4, are now really helping with the extra sustain. But against Greymane, you have to be careful. Tyrande is down. Toskievsky on his Johanna is also doing well, and there's a quick storm, and that's the end of Maiev. Maiev is down 2, and that is that. Bottom lane, in the meantime, heavily pressured. Shamzik doing his thing against Blade. And as you can see here, we're actually not in a position where Blade can do a whole lot about that, because, well, he doesn't have his level 7 yet. Question is still if he's even going into the Echo Paddle. But without it, he just doesn't have the wave clear. Halftime show easily won now by Team Russia. And now the only thing is, can they burn it down? That choke point is always a bit of a problem, and already Kolya is adjusting for that. Nice jump away. Alright, in comes Johanna, trying to make a play here, zoning them out with a good condemn, and also obviously trying to go for Ezdul, and that might be the kill. Ooh, Maiev, yeah, there she's down, and the second kill. The Salt Prophet is getting a little bit salty here, and for good reason. Dead again, second time in this game. They're going for Blade, And he is dead too. Beef, salted beef. That's what we're getting right now. Well, with that, we're also having the quick Immortal taken, and that is nearly 100% there. Are they taking it completely, or are they buying a little bit more time for the rest to heal up? Nah, they just go for it, okay. I mean, again, on a map like Infernal Shrines, for example, you will occasionally see a team wait with the last minion just for a few seconds so that the teammates can move to the Nexus, get hit points back, mana back, and then move in. And I've seen that move once or twice also on Battlefield of Eternity, where you're just not going for the last hit against the opponent's Immortal when you know that they themselves are either all dead or there's no one at the Immortal. By the way, now with the Echo Paddle, stage dive is definitely a possibility. So that could be the case. Yeah, Torski is already moving there at the front. I mean, he's been trying to zone them out the entire time. And with a flashlight, he's especially targeting, of course, Greymane to make sure that those auto attacks don't hurt too much. But for now, we're actually seeing 5 kills against 0 on the board, and that's a massive lead for the Russians. They are definitely the favorite in this one, don't get me wrong. They are currently doing a fantastic job here on the top lane. They're not quite capable of taking the fort down yet, but still, that was a lot of good damage for the first one, and if they can at any point get a kill, should be able to move this through and take that. This is a nice stun attempt against Farlander, but he is still able to get his dimensional shift out. That was quite important for him. 5 minute and 50 completion on Thrall. He's a bit late on this one. Okay, definitely a bit late. But this is a map where you oftentimes see a late completion on the Echo of Elements simply because the Immortal spawns before you have it. Oftentimes that fight, on the other hand, is a problem. Maiev is in trouble again. Ward of the Warden tries to get away. Ezreal actually jumping out as we're seeing Barnaby looking for the kill against Tyrande. Salt Prophet. I see a lot of salt in his future. And there's the 3rd kill now against Tyrande. She's down again. They're making the play for Tyrande once more. Ezreal is low. And Barnaby is cleaning house. 16 hit points on Greymane. And Dazzler comes in with a final hit. Barnaby actually falls. He actually falls. And immediately pings the support. As you should. Nobody took down the fort here. And now we have a kill against Thrall. So not a perfect game by them. They have level 10 abilities, 9 kills against 1. But yeah, the fort actually with main damage here. Nobody took that final hit to eliminate it, and that was a problem. Alright, so let's see how this is going to end in Immortal phase number 2. Because right now the quick question is Snails Eaters somehow able to make their way back into this? Are they able to soak to level 10? In time? They should lose out on the halftime show now. It's normally how this goes with that experience situation that we're currently experiencing here. So right now that should be a quick burn. Then level 10 should be ready as the Immortals shift positions. And then they have to play around that and try and make their play here. Even a bit of a scout towards the camp on the right side to make sure that it's not being taken. They could literally invade that. There's the level 10. Stun dodged. And that's pretty much the halftime show right there. A little bit more poke and they're Gucci. Well, there's the containment disc, little fight over there. Yeah, Greymane is already in trouble. Just as it starts, and it's the mosh pit. Is Blade finding it? There's the disc against Toskievsky. Toski comes out, there's the Ancestral, nicely done. Blade in trouble, Thundering, and whoa, 10 hit points. Blade gets away with 10 hit points. Ezreal is also jumping out, and the kill against Tracer. Holy shit, well done here. Great move from the Snails Eaters. They are eating those snails for breakfast, and Tracer has been snailing around in this game quite a bit. 2 deaths already against Barnaby. That's a little bit of a different performance than the last game. Nicely done. There comes the tether, but that didn't do too much. But I love the way they played this. They kept Blade alive with 10 HP. Everybody's safe, and then they turn it around as Greymane and Thrall are making the big boy plays for Tracer, take her down, and then the second kill comes in against Dovsky. Nicely done. So for now, it looks like they're going to win this one. Look at that. The snails. Well, it's not over yet. It's not over until the fat lady sings. Oh, they're starting to make the play again for Greymane. He jumps in, wants to get the kill, doesn't get it, and falls. Wolf on wolf action as Rega goes in for the last bite. Nice Stormbolt damage. Psystorm damage here. Blade is down, and this is just Falenda just always capitalizing on these choke points. It feels like every time that he's playing Tacita, everybody just stacks up in these small corners. And yeah, they might actually win this after all. The Russians, that is. Russian aggression right there as they move in. I actually comment on YouTube the other day where someone said, like, I shouldn't say Russian aggression all this time. It sends politically the wrong message. And I was just thinking to myself, fuck you. It's like, this is the most aggressive team that I've ever seen in my entire life in Heroes of the Storm. And honestly, ever since Heroes has been started to play, the Russian teams were always the most aggressive ones. That goes back all the way to the 5 blood for blood plays that we've seen from the Russians back in the good old days with Sevka and everybody. And yeah, that's the kill attempt against Thrall, and he actually goes down. Nice. And Ezdul, every time Ezdul, he gets away so many times, but not this time. There is no way. No. That's tag team plays right there. Kolya gets pinged again. Shamsik just saying, dude, stop kill stealing my shit here. That was my solo kill. Talking about kills, that's a good stun against Falenda. Well played. And there we go. Another setup against Blade, maybe? No, not quite. They're not chasing it. They're not over chasing it here at all. Instead, we're seeing again the quick grab on the Immortal. This time not with really too many shields. But again, we get the damage out with it. And they might be able to get another 40 in the game. So for now, we're having level 13 talents in their hands. And that, of course, means we're also getting the nullification now. Dropped. The quick setup here against Blade. Blade still needs to get a good mosh pit through to help his team out. So far, it hasn't really seen a lot of value. Jumping in again down to the bottom, and this is an easy for. I mean, seriously. Oh, it's very well done. Pushed them back with a 13 advantage. Everybody playing it a bit more passive for the Snails Eaters. They gotta be careful here. Thrall is actually looking for experience topside now. Doesn't even need it. I mean, there's enough there. Just drop a bit of AoE in Yaguchi. So now we have it. There's the 13 on both sides. Thrall is waiting for the Sundering. He's waiting for the flank. If he can get Fallen, that would be great. But Fallen keeps way in the back. Set up a attempt against Barnaby, and Barnaby, instead of running away, is just saying, oh look, there's a Thrall. And immediately starts attacking. Containment disc is out, hitting Johanna. Torskiewski has to be a little bit more careful. There we go. Blessed Shield, follow up, Condemn, trying to go for it. And is slow with the punish, but it's not enough just yet. Quest not completed for Tacita, by the way. This time is a little bit slower. Toski is down. Tracer is dead to a monster Condemn and a great engage, but no damage. And then the turnaround. The Snails Eaters, they get the kills here. Okay. There we have Falenda with the Ancestral as the recipient up to the top. Shamsik is trying to run away. He's actually starting to really threaten Blade here too, but there are just too many heroes. And Rhaegar's just saying, like, screw you, dude, like, you're dead anyways. We don't even have to watch this because we know he's down. Instead, we're going to look at the dog. Oh, the money pick. There we go. Falenda's my boy. Falenda is my boy. When it comes to that, like, he's the one who really pops this. At this point, once again, we're having on the left side, the red team actually starting to invade the camps right now. Pretty smart move. You invade the right side, then you're trying to go for those Khazra camps, as many as you can. Just look at the kill count. 14 against 7. Whew. Damage output, Greymane, 37,000. Top damage in the game. Even ahead of Tracer. Torski. Still doing his thing here. Alright. Trying to move in. And top side, catapult pressure. I mean, this is obviously the main problem right now from the perspective of the red team, that they're having just so much catapult pressure on all sides, and eventually that is going to become an issue. 13 minutes in, it's not really the end of the game, just simply because the catapults haven't scaled that much. But once that we're reaching the late stage, that's a different story for sure. Hey, oh, Blade down. Sundering already used. They're trying to go for Thrall. Another nice Condemn here. But as the Immortals are on the map, they don't even have to go for it. Oh my god, Greymane. That guy has a serious pair on him. Vanapia, if he had a bomb ready at that moment in time, that could have been a kill. But yeah, they're moving away from this one. And now, of course, they are going to try and take down as many hit points of that Immortal as they can. Ideally, even win the halftime show here. If they can make that happen. So far, it's not really the case. Yeah, top side, Tacita is currently using the Storm to deal with the wave. Also to stack his quest a little bit. Once the level 16 is there, you kind of want to have that extra damage output here with the Psionic Storm. Yep, there's already the double, so now we can start to soften them up quite nicely. Synergy even on Thrall, the other guy, Rhaegar. On Rhaegar here, with the Earthgrass Totem after the level 1, the Colossal. Come on, Toxie, you're better than this, you're better. Don't walk into that stun. Yeah, there's again the slow. Maiev in trouble. Maiev in a lot of trouble. And she's not the only one. Oh my god, look at their hit points. They are all getting wrecked here right now. The Moshpit on the other hand. Oh, the Ancestral. Nice play. And again, the connect here. ETC with the slide through, saving his teammates. But they're all low. They're currently all getting softened up by those storm balls. So just look at this. By the Psionic Storms, by the way. There's no Muradin in this game yet. But yeah, damn. This is actually, it's impressive that they keep everybody alive, more so than anything else. Yeah, Barnaby is looking for those kills over and over again, but currently he has a trouble connecting them. Level 16, by the way, look at that. Tempest Fury over the Thunderstorm. Okay, bit of an adjustment. Quick race, and it's going to be another Immortal in favor of Team Russia. Small shield, but again, that's the only thing that they're getting here. And let's see, top side. Yeah, can they get a keep with this one? I'm honestly not sure. I mean, there's a little bit of poke that we have on the other side, but generally speaking, with now... Yeah, Tessera should actually complete this. Look at that. Already. Man on a mission. Man on a mission here. Honestly, that would have been so much better if Farlander would have just moved in here and got his quest completed. I mean, he's got to get it completed anyways, don't get me wrong, but if you already had it here, that would have more of an impact as they're trying to break through. Yep, there it is, quest completion, and therefore the extra damage on him. They're starting to going for this. So far, full on defense, 5 versus 5 up at the top lane. 17 against 16, the experience here. They're burning down the Immortal quickly, but obviously now everybody's getting pushed back too, as we're seeing Team Russia looking for kills, trying to find one against Blade, but it's actually Tyrande who dies first. Full engage, he has to keep falls, and with a Blessed Shield, they're starting to make the play right now for Blade and for Thrall, and both of them die. And that should actually be game. 3 already down, and they're going straight for it. Maiev is currently moving away. Greymane still attempting to turn things around here, but he's getting stunned out too, and that already costs time, and that core is falling. Looks like Team Russia might actually emerge from this one with a 3-0 in the standings, and indeed they do, taking Battlefield of Eternity again, this time against the Snails Eater.